With this, we have a panel discussion that's going to be starting now, which is the last panel discussion of the day and the session as well. This is on building a resilient tooling ecosystem, the case for local collaboration. Now, as I'm getting ready to announce the panelists and the moderator, could we request the doors to be open? Let's invite everybody who's outside to join in because this is the last session that's happening. All of our wonderful delegates that are outside, please take a few minutes, join us in, start settling down. This is the last session of the day. We definitely want you here. And everyone, the team, could we request the EC members to join us outside, request all of our delegates to come in, take a seat, and this is the session that we are just about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this session, we'd once again like to invite our moderator to join in first, and with that, we'll request everybody else to join us. For this session, that is building a resilient tooling ecosystem, the case for local collaboration, we have our wonderful moderator, Mr. Amar Kulkarni, Global Product Evangelist, Polyworks Software India Private Limited. Hi, a very good evening. So I think while we are getting a little set, may I ask you a couple of questions? Check. It's actually the moderator that does the question asking, but I have a couple of questions for him. In this one, I think towards the end, we'd be glad if we could take a few questions from the wonderful audience members for this panel. And what are you expecting in this panel to happen?
I think there will be some exciting questions from the panel. Towards the end, I have something special which has not happened all day. So stay tuned, and based on that, I think there will be some exciting questions coming in.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of suspense there.
Yeah, okay, I am definitely looking forward to what's in store. Let me take the opportunity to firstly request him that, you're going to take the pick of the moderator's chair, to whichever chair you prefer is yours. Fantastic. Let me now invite our wonderful panelists to join us. We have Mr. Neel Mani, Head of Purchasing and Supplier Quality, KSPG Automotive India Private Limited. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause. Joining us next is Girisha Varagiri, Supplier Readiness Management, Skoda Auto Volkswagen India Private Limited. We have Mr. Satyabratha Das, Senior GM, IAC International Automotive India Private Limited. Mr. Raj Singh, Director, Eqic Dice and Moulds Engineers Private Limited. And last but not the least, we have Mr. Ravindra Patil, DGM Tooling Cell, ADCOM Tooling Cell, Pune, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. With this, gentlemen, please take a seat. And let me hand it over to the expertise of our panelists and, of course, our moderator. Over to you.
Check. Thank you so much for that. Many years ago when I was much younger, there used to be this drinking game that I played with my friends every time India had a cricket match. So we had this game where every time Sachin Tendulkar would hit a 6, or if Ganguly would hit a 4, we would sip whatever we are drinking. And on some matches, it so happened that some of us didn't see the second innings even. So if we play that kind of a game here, that every time someone said tariff, digital transformation, Industry 4.0, if we had to take a sip of whatever we are drinking, I think most of us would not reach home tonight. The big question for us always is this. There's a lot of panels, a lot of discussions, but a lot of these terms end up becoming buzzwords. Everyone talks about Industry 4.0. Everyone talks about digital transformation. What exactly does it mean to you in your daily work? There's a gap in that. And today, we're going to have a conversation about that, with specifically talking about creating a resilient tooling ecosystem. A few months ago, I was in a similar event where everyone was talking about supply chain resilience. and the whole process of manufacturing is discussed. To me, the only question came up as to why is tooling not part of that supply chain resilience conversation? There was a lot of different conversations except tooling. So I thought, if supply chain resilience conversation cannot have tooling in it, here in this event, tooling can have supply chain as a conversation. So with this August panel that I'm really excited about throwing some of these questions to, let's uncover and find out for tooling founders, for people who work with OEMs, people who work with supplier ecosystem, what does it really mean for us to build a resilient tooling ecosystem? And what exactly does it mean for us to create a localized collaboration and how it really benefits, right? So thanks everyone for your attention. I'm going to start some of these questions first, going into setting the context. So we'll break this session for everyone's easy understanding and to make notes. We'll break this into 4 parts. In the very first part, let's just first set the context. What does it mean to be resilient? What is a resilient tooling ecosystem? So my first question will be to Mr. Neel Mani, who has deep experience in localization and supply quality. Can you share with us an example where localized supplier collaboration was a key to solving critical supply chain disruption?
Yeah, thanks, Amar. So you asked one example. I will give 2 quick examples. The first one is the biggest disruption, COVID, which we saw. Our company buys both mechanical as well as electronics.
Right.
All the mechanicals or mostly were local, and all the electronics was import because of the nature of the industry, or we don't have that technologies. And all through COVID, 1.5 years, the discussion was on shortage of electronics parts, and the mechanical was always available. So which means building local system always helps. Second example is we were localizing one complex sensor, and we were not even allowed to localize the mechanical parts. Our principals or our headquarter was objecting it. But we fought against it and localized those 2 parts. One was plastic, one was die casting. Okay. And later on, what happened, our company's US office, they were failing to procure those parts. And we served their customers from India using these 2 parts which were built in India.
There you go. Wow.
So originally, they were resisting, and later on, we only helped them. So localization will always help.
Wow. So you have an example of success right away at the start of the show. My next question, and we're not going linear, I'll just throw some questions around to follow up on this. My next question will be to Mr. Satyabratha Das. From your perspective of being a local suppliers to large OEMs in India, do you have any stories to share where agility or local collaboration was made a difference to your customers even?
Check. Good evening all. At the outset, I must thank Tagma for giving this fantastic opportunity. The question, what we are touching upon now is, I will be very, very specific to the tooling industry. The buzzword which we are talking about, the resilience, if I am pronouncing it rightly, I don't understand because I'm a tool maker. I really don't sometimes spell rightly the words. I think it means bounce back, right? When you are given with some challenges in your life, how you are going to bounce back. And the thing is nothing, I mean, it is not different for tooling industry as well. If you talk about the OEs, I think I'm surrounded by two OE guys, VW and Mahindra. The time to, from the design board to the road, when the vehicle hits the road, the time is getting reduced substantially. And now we are talking about the 21 months time to, to make a vehicle on the road. So think about the pressure. I will not talk about the word resilience. I will talk about the word pressure on the tool maker, pressure in the system, pressure to do it. But this is the need of the hour. We'll have to do that. Now I will take you to the journey which we have faced last 2 years. There was a lot of challenge in the Indian tooling industry. I will say that for my company, we sourced almost 99.9% of the tool from India. The tool makers can clap in the room. So when the vehicle is being done in 21 months time or 26 months of time, So what is the time actually a toolmaker is getting? And with that, I congratulate all the toolmakers, those who have contributed to their best last 2 years to make the programs which were done by the OEs, and they have made it very, very successful. So for me, that's what the resilience is. And that's what the supply chain management, what you was talking about. Think about the situation when I go to China. I make a tool. Since morning, I am listening. Last month, I was there in China for almost 15 working days, and I have visited completely 18, 20 tool makers. It sounds little bit, how come in 10, 12 days you can visit, but I did that. So think about the system. Think about the problem which is currently created. The geographic situation, what is happening. If I make a tool in China, I don't know, am I going to get that tool back in India on time? I'm going to get the parts to India on time. So that's a bigger challenge. So making tool in India is always a safer bet.
Right. Thank you for sharing that. There's an interesting point to be made there about not just having localization because logistically easier. There are a lot more other reasons to look at, and those are the notes I would make immediately. Thanks so much for that. We have two OEMs point of views to come. We've had 2 point of views of tier 1 suppliers. We'll take one from one of yours. Mr. Raj Singh is here. He's a Tagma executive member, also a founder of a company. And I want to ask from you, as a tooling industry veteran, how has the local tooling suppliers stood up to the shocks? How have this market really stood up to the shocks, that disruptions?
To the shocks. Good evening, everyone. Post-COVID, supply chain cracked and India became the bridge. So a lot of orders from China started going to other countries and India became a preferred country. So at times, we got, 2 kind of challenges, I could say. Number 1, some urgent projects came up. Number 2, overbooking of orders. Undeniable overbooking of orders. Why I am telling this is, there are some customers of ours, they take 100% from us. They don't go to anybody else. So I have to oblige and meet their timeline for urgent projects, number 1. Number 2, there was a jump up in orders. So that time, our supply chain came to a great help. So what we did is, we offloaded about 70-80% of the work outside, all which is not so accurate, and focused only on precision machining where the accuracy is very, very high, compound angle machining in Makino, HMCs and big VMCs and all that, and we delighted the customer. Thank you.
Okay. That's a great example. You keep your specialization with you, and what you can give away, you distribute it to the ecosystem, and that's how you also build community. Thanks for that answer. That's great. Do you want to add something to that?
Thank you. That's all.
Perfect. Thank you. Great. So let's move on then to get an OEM point of view. We'll take the first question to Mr. Girish Varagiri from Skoda Volkswagen. At the factory level, where do you see the local tooling ecosystem winning? And where do you think it's falling short when it comes to supporting consistency?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me on this panel. I am representing one part of this entire value chain where I am supposed to bridge the gap between the tool makers and the eventual expectation of the customers. So I'll slightly touch upon the resilience part. See, even our job is no more easy. I can understand that the toolmaker life is tough. Of course, it is tougher, a lot tougher than ours. But end of the day, we are also supposed to meet our own expectation of targets. Targets not just in cost, but also in quality. And one very critical point which Satya touched upon, timeline delivery. See, the market is changing. Our customers are believing more like car is a second home. More of personalization is coming in, more of touch points, more of feeling points, more of electronics. The exterior themes are like signature for each customer. What it is bringing is very short short timeline for product change, and huge complexity. I still remember the times where almost VW is in India for almost now 18 plus years. When we started with Polo, IAC has been our partner since then. When I remember Polo, my interior theme level parts were approximately 35, 40 plus tools. Today, one car is more than 250, 300 tools. The same car because of the complexity we are bringing. So resilience is, for me, is a tool maker. When I think about him being a very valuable player in my value chain, he should be good enough to adopt to the changing market. And changing market demands quicker delivery time. He has to be. Changing market demands better quality. Lot of efforts are being put on haptics, feel, comfort. So he has to adapt to that. That means he has to specialize himself in some specific core area. A single tool maker cannot deliver from everything from front end to the back end. There has to be some specialization in, let's say, air vent, glue box, latches. So in this way, he has to stay adaptable. If I have to talk about my success journey, I'll talk about what can be better later, but we started with Polo Vento journey. That was with absolute European team. We localized approximately 20% of the tools. With last offerings of ours where we launched Kailak, I'm very proud with the own toolmaker journey in India, we're at 80% of the localization for the tooling. Of course, I want to reach to what he's speaking about, 95+%. That is our goal, and of course, we will do it with your help. Yeah? Thank you.
Right, super. Thank you. There again, reiterating the point that specialization in core areas is essential. I would make notes on that for sure. Thank you so much for that. Over to you, Sir Ravindra Patil, sir, about this question on how OEMs have a certain bandwidth to withstand shocks or disruptions. How can tool rooms prepare to withstand shocks or disruptions with these kind of?
See, thank you first of all, Tagma and Mr. Gopal, introducing me in the last stage of this panel discussions. See, first of all, 3 years back, Mahindra and Mahindra, we had decided to make in India 100% of the tooling, and we have started almost 99% tools we made in India past 3 years. Very few components which are proprietary components tooling has gone overseas. Everything is been made locally. So we believe giving, see, every supplier, sorry to say supplier, is business partner. Tool makers are our business partners. We believe as per their capability and capacity, we need to give chances to everyone, not a particular one. And just move on. If somebody is weak in some areas, in tool making, there are many sections, many departments. In one or the other department, if they are weak, we need to provide them technical solutions, support them for the better solutions. And even at the last, if there are some failures, so we should not get viable ourselves and all of a sudden take third stage directly, blacklist or something. It's not the way we prefer. We prefer to train suppliers and enhance their quality year by year, days by days. Even if they achieve 90% in one program, in one tooling, one tool, okay, next time, certainly they will be able to achieve 100% quality in the next program. So we believe in giving opportunities, support suppliers. Wherever in their weak areas, we support them. And the real challenges nowadays, as per my experience, is meeting quality is not the real challenge. Meeting timeline is the real challenge in India. So tool makers are developing year by year, and they have done the good job in last 3 years for deliver up to our expectations. And I believe the quality will improve step by step every year. and believe in 5 years will be at par with the overseas tool makers.
That's a wonderful ambition to track. Thank you so much for that. What I'm reading from there is we have an OEM suggestion about specializing, developing your core specialization. We have another suggestion and an action plan that they prefer to distribute to build their own resilience. They're distributing their projects and developing a wider base of tool makers. So that's another action point that we can pay attention to. So with this context, what I really want to touch upon is for centuries, not centuries, decades, we've heard this conversation that tool making is an art form, right? And as a community, we've all known this. I've been in so many TAGMA events in the past 20 years, met so many tool makers, and I'm passionate as well on this subject when it comes to tool making. And we've always taken this pride about it being an art form, right? Tool making is an art. I do understand and I accept that, but I think that we've come to a point where making the tool is the art, but we're also in the business of it, right? So there are these two elements. We cannot ignore the business because it's an art form. So we're going to go into the next step to try and see how we can plug some of these things by directly talking about where are the gaps and what are the bridges that we can pay attention to, right? So the next question I'd like to place, I call this part 2 as the real fix, to Mr. Neel Mani. If you could weave a magic wand, and being a person from procurement side of things, right? If you could weave a magic wand to fix one procurement or supplier related pain point through local collaboration, which problem would you solve?
All my panelists have said, and I think from morning till evening we are hearing. So I would like to reduce the lead time as short as possible.
Reduction of lead time. Wow. Reduction of lead time seems to be the one problem that he would solve if he had a magic wand. Now, I don't know if he's saying that because it's a magic wand and he believes that the only way to fix this is a magic wand. I'm just joking. So, yeah, thank you. So, that's a good one. I would move the next one to Mr. Raj. Yeah, sure.
Can I just touch upon his point?
Yes, please.
Of course, it's we can say it's a magic wand, but it is going to be an eventual reality for our survival. For my survival and for your survival.
There you go.
If somebody else is delivering it because of the short time, then we have to deliver as well.
Right. So you could say that the lead time then becomes our strongest competitive edge?
Of course.
Yeah. There you
Of
go.
course.
There you go.
C is also a factor.
Right.
Of course.
Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Thanks for supporting that statement. I'll move the next one to Mr. Raj Singh as a tooling supplier. When it comes to serving the local market, do you think cost is still the only benefit that we provide? Or are there other solutions that we can or we must?
Oh, there are many benefits are there. Yes, cost. When we have a strong supply chain system in place, it makes sense to give away to subcontract all standard parts, or a vendor is doing day in, day out the same kind of part. It is better to offload those parts to them. It not only reduces the cost, but also the time. So we are competitive. The cost is there. The second thing, as I told you, when there is a jump up in the orders or urgent projects that I have already explained in my earlier talk, that how it is beneficial. Third very important thing is there are two factors which, in our tooling industry. One is very high value added machining and one is not so high value added. The second thing there is very high precision machining and not so high precision machining. So it makes sense to, offload all not so high accurate machining totally out, and where the value addition is not so high. So focus only on the high value addition job and precision job. And that way one can, scale up the turnover and enhance the bottom line. Thank you.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you. So creating tiers. So there is a tier within the tooling system where there is a high value addition and there is the others that can supply a more generic, more standardized system. The next question I'm going to ask for all of the three of them. Of course, Girisha has already voiced his opinion, but what real problem are we solving with localization? We'll start with Satyabratha ji.
See, when we are talking about, the localizations, we are, I will little bit go in, you may say that I'm going in a tangent to this, but actually I mean it. We are emphasizing on the localization of the tooling in India. We want to compete with China, we talk about Japan, we talk about Korea. And since morning, I am listening very, very careful to everybody who has come to this dais and they have talked about that they established ecosystem. They are 20 years, 15 years, 5 years, 10 years ahead of us. Who made them to go ahead? This is a question I just want to live on. I don't want an answer now. What government of India is doing for the toolmakers? Is it that if I want to invest a machine, I pay 30% from my pocket, I take a loan from the bank, I pay 12% interest on that, I run the business, and I talk about the bottom line? That's not going to make the ecosystem strong. We may build on pressure. We may build on pressure on the toolmakers. But where the pressure is going to be, we are talking about that we want first time right component. At what cost? What is the timeline we are giving? So it has to be worked with the complete system. A PLI scheme, a rate cut somewhere, and some benefit on the GST, or I don't know how to talk on that, is not going to solve the purpose. The machines are really costly. The machine manufacturers are also putting their best. So to set up this ecosystem, we have to do multiple things at one time because we want to compete with them. If they are 5 years ahead of it, we need to move at least 2x speed to catch them first. So for that, from government, from OEs, from tier 1 like me, everybody has to come together to handhold this fraternity of tooling. So that's what I see as a bigger challenge in near future. The sustenance of the toolmaker is going to be, why there is a cost, throat cut price challenge which is coming here. What is the difference in China? We have gone many a times into China. Not everybody wants to become a toolmaker in China, please. I know that a lot of people, those who have visited China, every owner is not a toolmaker, please. The machine shop belongs to somebody. The CNC shop belongs to somebody. The EDM shop belongs to somebody. And they collaborate. We are talking about the cobots. I'm not talking about the cobots. It's far way ahead. I'm not talking about the digitalization. I'm talking about the digitization first in the industry. We are not talking about the digital transformation, which at least twofold from now. So let us clear the basic first. I just want that the cost, the timeline, the quality, whatever we are comparing ourselves with China, I always say that we are ahead of it. But the thing is the speed which you want to meet, that's where the technology comes in, that's where the machine comes in, that's where the i4 comes in. So these are the areas probably which we need to emphasize.
Fantastic. That is a very, very critical point. I was having this conversation just after lunch with one of the TAGMA members, and we saw some of the presentations, and I think that it's very essential for us to put a finger on that point. The ecosystem just does not have only one ring of technology around it, saying CNC machines, steel, tooling, CAD/CAM software. That's the inner ring, I would say, but the bigger ether around it is the business model of it, the governance, and all of the things that Satyabratha ji has mentioned. Thank you so much for that point. Again, I would make a note of that as well. I'll take the same question to Ravindra ji. What real problem can we solve by localization from an OEM point of view?
See, with tooling partners, tooling friends, the problems starts from actually tooling industry is not the production, repetitive product industry. In production, it's very easy to plan days and weeks and months and improve the productivity. In tooling, always their workload will be ups and down. Sometimes it will be stretch workload, sometimes it will be moderate, sometimes it will be below average. So planning is the first capacity planning. How many resources do you have? Man, machine. That planning of their resources has to be very good, strong, so that if they are stretched in one department, for example, starting in the beginning, the tooling industry starts with the design department. In design department, your workload, you have taken orders from multiple customers, and your workload is suppose 300 hours per week, but you are customers are chasing and pressurizing, and it goes up to 500 hours requirement. That at such occasion, the good planning will suggest you whether this activity has to be uploaded or keep in-house. If it is within your capacity, 300 hours, you keep in-house. And you know your team's resources efficiency also. So this is applicable to all departments, design, machining, assembly, and tryouts. And the most critical area in tooling industry in India, localization, I am facing the problems. With the design, they face the highest problem is the attrition. They take engineers, maybe precious, experienced engineers, but they don't stick to the jobs. Everybody wants white collar job. They goes to tech center. They goes to product designing. They don't want to be in tool room. The attrition level needs to be work out. I personally, I couldn't find. I was earlier, before OEM role, I was in tooling industry. So I know their problems. So need to find out the solution, amicable solution as a team. As a TAGMA also can involve into that. And the machining part, CAM machining part is very good, well developed in your ecosystem locally. I couldn't see much problems in machining quality, CAM programming. It's satisfactory level. The last stage, assembly and the tuning, there lacks, again, it's similar like design. There lacks a lot of inefficiency and skills in the team. There again, there is a problem of attrition. So people don't want to do a blue collar job, hard work job, and they learn, they come 2-3 years, they go back to some other industries. So these are the problems, I think, design and the last workmanship skills in assembly. If you improve this, I think we will be at par like China and Korea.
So there's another point there, that localization, if we manage to have these processes improved, we hit upon a point. You actually have led us to the next section where we are going deeper into really pinpointing which are the gaps and which are the bridges. I'll take this one first to Mr. Raj Singh for you. Which is the biggest gap you see in the Indian tooling ecosystem? Is it skills? Is it infrastructure investment, trust? And what gives you positive hopes?
Well, in supply chain ecosystem of Indian tooling industry, most of the industries are small or micro. So what happens is, the first thing, the gap I have seen observed in this industry is medium scale industry, they have the attrition rate, then you can imagine the plight of this micro and small industry. So this one big gap we have seen. And we send our team for training, and when the team go next time, they see new faces again. But we don't leave we keep giving the training so that it is mutual benefit. So this first thing I've seen. Second thing, what we have noticed is there is no robust manufacturing system there. So, they don't follow the system so strongly, and many times they go off the track. So we give our SOPs and we explain them. We take extra care because it's again mutual, and we have a huge team for our subcontract. So this is how we can help. Third thing, what we have seen is, we give some job for particular machining. It may be a very critical machining. For that, they may not have proper tool, cutting tool, advanced tool, and measuring equipments. So we help them. We buy those things and give to them and deduct the amount over a period of 1 year and 2 years from their bills. So this is how we do, and this is the gap, and this is what we are doing. That's the one. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to take that same question about see a different point of view. Mr. Neel Mani, I want to ask you that question. We talk about different gaps, skills, investment, trust, infrastructure, all of that. Where have you seen companies or initiatives that bridge these gaps? Any innovative solutions that you've seen or you can think of?
Last 7-8 years, I'm working with German OMCs and European. So the traditional mindset immediately before COVID was if something is proven in Germany or China or elsewhere, don't even attempt it in India. So that mindset has drastically changed after 2020. Now everybody is saying, attempt it. Let's see it. We are ready to pay for proto. We are ready to pay for the single cavity tool. Let's attempt it. We are ready to invest in validating those samples. So that change has for sure happened. And this is where we are willing to take the risk or bridge the gap.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that. I just have an add-on question to that. What led to that? It's just the lack of availability? Was it just a circumstantial thing, or was there something already that assisted that?
I think, again, it's a complete ecosystem. Lots of German core manufacturers are facing financial challenges. They have become so expensive that they are becoming unaffordable. China is randomly implementing policies which only their government knows what they will do tomorrow. A blue sky policy to clean or to reduce the energy in the tooling sector, something like that. We are facing some geopolitical issues. So all that has come together to make this happen, to make this change of mind.
Well, it's a positive effect, and I think everyone welcomes it, so it's okay. Mr. Satyabratha ji, what would be the biggest gaps that you see in the tooling ecosystems when it comes to local collaboration?
I think I have talked a lot on this. I think, I can again reiterate the things which everybody has spoken. Like even I said that the gap which I see is not something like us. Since morning we're talking about the skill we are not getting developed. That's one of the gap we are talking about, but I don't agree with that. We say that the people, those who are coming out of the institutions like CTTC, like GTTC, NTTF, they don't want to work in the tool room. I don't agree with that. I think this is my fifth or sixth time I'm coming to TAGMA. I'm not sure, Nishant, we will have a discussion on this, that why don't we call any principal of these institutions to this TAGMA? Why don't we encourage the top 2 students of those colleges to come here and witness what is happening? Because what they see, they just get themselves molded towards that. And the fancy terms like, we want to be a designer. Somebody has to tell them you are not becoming a designer, you are becoming you are becoming a draftsman. You are a 3D draftsman. So these are the gaps which we are talking about, but the solutions are there in our hand. We can mold these people. We are talking about the molding industry. We can mold these people from the beginning. We can bring them to our requirement. Okay. So I think at this juncture where we are sitting today, we must give those young chaps a chance to see what the industry is behaving like, what the industry requirement is like. Do they really understand what the industry need? That's how we need to train them. Technology, anytime we can bring in, it's a matter of getting a machine or something like that. I'll just give an example and conclude for this particular question is, when we started 3 years back, sir, you were there, and because I worked for both of them. So there was always a debate, what should be a zero parting line in Indian definition, in customers definition, in German definition, in Mahindra definition. So somehow it started with 50 micron is acceptable, then started with 30 micron is acceptable. Okay, sometime back it was saying that 80 micron. No, I'm not saying that customers said acceptable. It is the tool maker who was demanding that. Believe me, the car which was recently bought by Mahindra guys on the road, see the ZPL, and it is done by people, those who are sitting inside this room, and this is better than the China. So where is the gap? It's all here. It's all here. We can do it. Okay. So I really don't want to term it like a gap and then you fix it up and do it. We should do our part of job. That's very simple.
I love that optimism. I love that kind of positivity. It's just a mindset. It's already there. We're all functioning. We can only get better. That's the outlook there. Thank you so much, Mr. Satyabratha. I'll move the next question to Mr. Girisha, and it's a very focused question. 3 things. What should tool makers stop doing? What should tool makers continue doing? And what is it that they should start doing more of?
Okay. Thank you for giving the easiest question to me. Okay, I will start with what we should encourage tool makers to do. Before going there, there is also a responsibility for us, people like OEM as well, because this journey from 20 to 80% is not something that we only made out of choice. Okay, he's perfect for it, let's do it. No, it is never the case. Always, when I speak about cost, quality, and timeline, somewhere there are some areas where I have to make a compromise. I have to think about the best fit situation based on, and eventually my target is I have to become self-reliable. I have to become Atmanirbhar because of today's situation. You never know what will happen in China or somewhere else. So that's the first thing. Localization will help me to become resilient in real sense from start to end value chain. So when you ask me what we should continue, I stress upon those specific points. When I say specialization, I'll take an example, a lamp or an event. Okay, today, 10 years before, the customers were not speaking about haptics or feeling or force that critically. Today, every OEM is also very specific about that. That means when you're making air vent tools, the tool maker and the people who are designing those tools have to have that understanding about how can I make this better for my customer. Yeah. So in this bridge, so one thing that I would request all you tool makers is to build that specialization where we can really rely on. That's your best spot. I can rely on this particular tool maker for these kind of tools. I'll get the best result. Second, I would request you to build a very good collaboration with my tier 1 partners. It is very important. Only OEMs, we can request certain things, but I cannot do it alone. I'll have to do it with a partner like IAC or XYZ, ABC. When we both together collaboratively work, because I have so many success stories, I will have my own challenges to convince a product from a tool maker to my quality, to my engineering. There are certain challenges. So I will be the one who is building that bridge. But at the same time, this journey is not going to be easy. So whenever I'm speaking about those 20% of tools, we have to work together, collaboratively, and I request you or the management of all the tool maker, be ready to be flexible, adaptive, and please understand our requests. We are not making a challenge out of the blue word. We are also making it because I have to satisfy my customer who is expecting a new car in next 18 months. So adaptability is going to be key, specialization is going to be key, and one very pointed topic which Mr. Patil spoke about is attrition. I have very good tool makers. I see those 3-4 people are very good. Next tool I want to give to them, they are no more. They have set up their own shop. Now I am thinking, are they good enough or not? Yeah. I just want to end this question with one classic example. We had, because of this semiconductor challenge, we had a lot of requests from the market to go from radio 1 to radio B because of the semiconductors. And radio 2 wanted certain kind of bezel, which is about 450-500 ton. Any regular tool maker would have quoted 9 to 12 weeks in India. And Akshay is sitting here, he delivered me tool in 28 to 32 days. Yeah, so this is something that they did and only they could do it. So I really thank them today. And with this kind of thinking, I think we can go on and work together and deliver it. Yeah.
Perfect. So you touched upon what we should continue doing, specialize. You touched upon what we should double up on, collaborate. What should they stop doing? Hard one, I know, but we must.
I don't want to say stop. Let us be more efficient in communication. Let us start calling spade a spade. Yeah. You know you're not going to deliver in next 4 days, but let's stop telling that, okay, it is almost about begin. I think communication is the key. We can trust each other better. We can work with more collaborative approach. So I don't want to stop as such as a concept, but I want to improve there in communication, program management, tracking of the activities, delivering as you committed. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll move the onus a little bit outside of the sphere. Why is all the pressure only on the tool makers and the businessmen in this room alone? Let's talk about the X factors, the role of academia, the role of the government, the role of associations like TAGMA. I'll take the next question to Mr. Raj Singh, who himself is a TAGMA executive committee member. What role do you see TAGMA playing to accelerate local collaboration? And do you have any concrete examples of this being done?
Yes, Amar, this is my first tenure as a EC member. And after becoming the EC member, I have seen the huge kind of work that TAGMA is doing, and I would like to share one current event, with, incident or activity which is going on. NEIT planning, under NEIT planning, so this under PLI, government has sanctioned about 13,000 crores to pump in automotive sector with the three motto, you know. They want that the production of in automotive industry in India should boom up. Number two, the import should come down drastically. That's the second thing. And third thing, they want to make India competitive globally. With these three motto, they wanted to pump in 13,000 crores. And this 13,000 crore, in that 30,000 crore, they have, you know, condition that the expansion should be to a tune of minimum 50 crores. If anybody is ready to put minimum 50,000 crore expansion, government will give about 25% subsidy. So this is a great thing, but how many tooling company can immediately go for 50 crores expansion? So TAGMA is trying to influence, trying their level best, trying to influence government that the ticket of 50 crore should be brought down to 20 crores at least, so that more number of tool industry can take the benefit out of it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So there is a live example. It's already happening. We know people at AGMA are bringing that to you. We saw it in a presentation today. We'll take that a little bit more to the next question with Mr. Neel Mani, who is involved in procurement, which has its direct hands into legal compliances and government policy making. So for you, Mr. Neel Mani, what's your take on the government policies or incentives? Is there something that policymakers should prioritize to boost the tooling economy or the ecosystem?
What I think is government is doing a lot on the restricting side, like they have implemented BIS norms to prevent people from buying low value standardized item. So this is on the restrictive side. Can they promote also that, like giving some kind of tax benefit to fastener manufacturers or low cost component manufacturers, so that that becomes also incentivized? So that is one thing they can. So on one side they are putting restriction. Can they also encourage people to go into that? That could be one way forward.
I really think that ties up to what Satyabratha ji and also Raj Singh sir had said a little while ago. You create a tier system and the other tier then benefits from these kind of subsidized efforts. You want to add to that, Satyabratha ji?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, I echo with him what he mentioned is, and adding to that is, we can't neglect this industry, I think, which is close to 23,000 crores of industry, I think, tooling business is in India. And with the CAGR, I think it is 11% we are growing. I think I was reading somewhere in TAGMA. 11% CAGR is what we are seeing this industry, right? Well, okay. And we are contributing close to 2% to the GDP with this. So definitely, if we are a strong contributor to this, and government there is a lot of expectation. I really thank him that he is very polite to say that, that just you should make the PLI a little bit. But there are a lot many things has to be done. When we are just comparing ourselves with again to China, Japan, Korea. So we should also learn the same thing from them and get it. That's a wish, I think.
Okay, thank you for that. Two questions I'll take. One on the skill side to Mr. Patil, and I'll start with Girisha first. I know part of the answer, and I'll place that point for. When it comes to the investments in technologies, I believe the toolmakers have already been very advanced. I built my career in CAD/CAM and digital technologies in manufacturing, and the early 10 years just went straight to toolmakers. So I've always seen toolmakers invest in CAD/CAM much earlier than a lot of other industries have. So I know they're tech friendly, but do you have a little bit more insight on how technology can play a role in developing this ecosystem and its resilience?
Okay, maybe this can be effectively answered by the toolmaker partners. But in terms of, I can only answer how technology has influenced me and my work area to be more efficient. With so much of automation in my regular program management, tracking being seen, the tools that we use to refer and study the feedback from the market, what could be the potential XYZ factors in the parts, what should be the technology I should get prepared with for different parts. So there is so much of automation in terms of giving that feedback quickly to me. But when I look at toolmaker, see, I can only say as a layman in terms of handling multiple tools at a time, different tools at a time, how can technology can help you to manage that complexity. You are managing, let's say, almost 500 electrodes together. How are you managing those inside your company? How quickly you can help me? Eventually, I'm speaking about today you're making in 9 weeks. How can you make it in 7 weeks? That's where I'm coming to. And this is where I can refer for. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for adding that. I do believe in that, and it's my personal idea also that the level of technology investment has now moved from core engineering to processes. You know, binding all your data together. Everyone's talking about data-driven insights. Everyone's talking about automation. But what it really does is it binds multiple systems. You know, to be able to bind production, prove out, design, and management of it, all of that together. So, yeah.
Just I want to go back to your previous question. What we can do to improve? I don't know. I want to throw this question to the forum. This is also a favorite question from my management always. See, the costing is driven by a lot of import factor, and my tool steel is the big elephant in the room. Is there anything that can be done to localize the tool steel? We have the next factor to deal with. Otherwise, today my 50% of import, which derives the cost, is from outside. So I can see Voestalpine guys are smiling there. So help us.
So I just have one challenge to all tool makers. I just want them to come together, and if we can actually do the tool design part, can we make it when we are talking about digital transformation? I'm emphasizing on this word. If we really want to get the AI into the business, if we want to do this, why can't we join hand together, all tool makers? Because that's the area, where is the pain? Because keep on changing the things, and every changes call for 6-7 days of time. So can that happen? The big people in the room can join hand and take this as a project. That's something. I'm sorry, I just took the time. Somebody was raising hand for Giri. Yeah, please.
Do you have a question? Okay.
Sir, hope it's a feedback, not a question.
It was just about your question for Make in India Steel. So we are giving a presentation tomorrow, and we have created the benchmarks for 2738 and HH in Make in India, and we will be giving you a quality which is at par to the Europeans, because I can't commit more than that. But let the steel speak to you people, I'm sure.
I think this is reality, right?
Yes.
I think we have spoken about it. We want to try it with some parts, how to see how it is effective. We should do it together.
I was just waiting for that. My next question was that I have made a move. When are you guys going to make a move?
Well, just let this
Let's
session finish
discuss
and
that.
we'll meet you.
I think after this we sit and discuss.
Right away. There's someone exchanging cards after this session, I know. Thank you for that anyways. We don't have a lot more time. I had a couple of questions, but we'll skip that and go through a very quick one. Just one word answers this time. It'll be quick. I know everyone's had a lot of information to process. The notes have been made. Now let's just keep it a little lightweight. So I'm going to pose a few questions, and you're expected to give just one word answers on some of these, okay? The very first question, I'll start with Mr. Neel Mani. If you had 3 crores to invest in one area of work, where would you do it? Would you improve skills, invest in technology, logistics? What would you improve?
I will invest this in kind of program management to improve the overall response time, channeling, good response.
So anybody who's
because
selling
technology,
anything with program
everything, many people are investing.
Okay.
Nobody is looking at the softer aspect to give feedback on time, to
Right.
give real feedback.
Right.
That's
So
where I believe.
operational technology. So anybody who's selling stuff for program management, you know whom to contact. The question over to you, Mr. Girisha. If you had 3 crores to invest, which area of work would you invest in to improve?
3 crores. They will say it's too less.
Anything.
No, but I would certainly talk about again technology.
Technology?
Technology means being very specific for certain kind of parts.
Okay.
Where I can be a choice. I can be a central choice
Okay.
by default. I am the one who can deliver.
Okay. Technology investments. Satyabratha ji, where would
Yeah,
you invest?
I'm already vocal on this. I would like to, 5, 6 guys who are sitting in front, they should invest equally with me, and we should do the design automation first.
Design
Yeah.
automation. So he would invest in design
So 3 crores
automation.
I'm taking from them. And
I don't know where that money is coming from. It's not me. Mr. Raj saying, where would you invest that money?
Of course, technology.
Technology? Okay. How about you, Patil sir?
Yes, I would say again, nowadays youngsters are preferring digital media, computer, laptops, mobiles. So we need to develop specific, like for example, plastic industry, plastic tooling. Plastic tooling, we can develop a number of our specific apps, so that everything will be digital.
Apps,
The designers can see the app, okay, his work is done, he will tick mark, and then it will go to next level.
Impressive.
So up to end, and everybody, and the management should aim for the first time right job.
Right.
If you follow, the checklist also should be digitally in the computers and the laptops.
There you go, software makers, app makers. Okay, quick questions again. If you had a magic wand, Mr. Neel Mani, to change one habit of tool makers in India, what habit would you change?
Giving false feedbacks.
False feedbacks. I didn't say that. Girishi, what would you change?
Develop a new answer.
Same answer, different words.
Maybe a better first time right approach.
Better first time right approach is the answer. Satyabratha ji, if one habit had to change, which one would change?
Stop pleasing the customer.
Stop
do your
pleasing the
job
customer.
and get the right part.
Raji, what would you say?
On-time delivery.
On-time delivery should be the target. Patil sir?
Data collection from each job, every job, there are some learnings.
Okay.
Those learnings needs to be documented or make some digital documentation and utilize in the similar tool or next programs.
Wonderful. Fantastic. That's a very good answer. I really like that one. One word that defines the Indian tooling industry.
The transformation is huge. In last 5, 6 years at least, the transformation is good. The pace is good.
So transformation. How about you? One word that defines the tool making industry.
Evolving, exciting. I am a tool maker, by the way. My education is, I am a product of NTTF and I am a tool maker. In my times, I always thought tool making is a thankless job. But today times, I feel it is a lot different. Exciting.
Satyabratha ji.
Tool makers are the king today.
Kings. There you go. All of the kings and
because
queens.
they make the vehicles. We integrate it. We just develop it. But if they don't make it on time, we are gone. So they are the king.
Kings.
Strongly agree.
Yep. Thank you. Raj sir.
24/7. सुबह आने का
24/7.
टाइम है, जाने का टाइम नहीं है.
That's a good one. Patil sir. One word for the industry.
Need more investments. Investments are very little.
Low. Okay. Perfect. I've come to my last question of the day. And this comes from some advertisements I saw a few months or years ago when Amitabh Bachchan was the mascot for the state of Gujarat or something like that. And then MS Dhoni was the mascot for another state and things like that. So if we were to hire a celebrity face as the mascot of the Indian tooling industry, who would you pick? Neel Mani ji, you first.
Virat Kohli maybe.
Virat Kohli, why?
He is young, he has shown resilience, he has shown bounce back, he has shown how to handle difficult situations.
There you go. Thank you. That's a fantastic answer.
I was not prepared for this question, but I don't know. Today is a time of a lot of changes, a lot of glamour in the car. So maybe Ranveer Singh, possible.
Okay, I love that energy.
Because he's ready to take risk.
I may not find a right guy better than someone sitting in this room.
Yeah, there you go.
So I want someone to be your ambassador for the tooling industry.
That's a wonderful answer. Raj sir, how about you?
If you give a choice about the celebrity, I would go for Amitabh Bachchan.
And Patil said you.
I would say who is having the knowledge about the industry, I would say Amitabh Bachchan.
I think that echoes with him because he carries with him the charisma of the old world and he still appeals to everyone here. I hope that appeal goes out from the tooling industry to everyone. So with that, I'm done with my questions and the answers are here. Just to introduce once again, Mr. Ravindra Patil, DGM from tooling from Mahindra, Mr. Raj Singh, everyone knows him here, from Eqic Dice founder, Mr. Satyabratha, who's heading ISE for the tooling and program management, Mr. Girisha, who's at Skoda Volkswagen doing supplier readiness, managing that, and Mr. Neel, who's heading procurement at KSPG. And my name is Amar, and I thank Ragma, Nishant, and everyone here who's been here patient enough to listen to this conversation, and to Kanchan, over to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was an incredible session. Thank you so much. May I please request our moderator to take center stage as we take this opportunity to extend a token of appreciation to each of our panelists. To Mr. Amar Kulkarni first. You can join in at the center. Mr. Amar Kulkarni, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in thanking him. To Mr. Neel Mani. Mr. Neel Mani. Mr. Amar Kulkarni. Okay. We have Mr. Satyabratha Das. Mr. Raj Singh. Mr. Girisha Varagiri. Mr. Ravindra Patil. May I request Mr. Gopalakrishnan to join us on stage to hand over token of appreciation to our moderator, Mr. Amar Kulkarni. Thank you so much for wonderfully moderating that session and for giving our audiences quite a bunch of takeaways. Gentlemen, please come together for a group picture. May I request you to step forward and quickly come together. Ladies and gentlemen, our panelists and our wonderful moderator, thank you. This almost brings us to the end of the evening.